All right, guys. Well, how about this? Things just got a little bit more exciting. UFC 314 just got a little bit more official, and I got a special coach here, Coach Joe Lopez, the man behind Freestyle MMA. A plethora of fighters, including Alex Volkanovski, who's now officially going to be stepping in against Diego Lopez for the belt. Joe, it's official, mate. It's official. How's it feel?
Yeah, it's good. We've sort of known for a couple of weeks now that it was going to be Lopez. The last time I spoke to you, we didn't, you sort of were a bit shocked because everyone thought it was going to be Ilia. So did we. But, then, Ilia decided he wanted to move up and, yeah, he's moving up.
Yeah, it's interesting, dude, because we were all in Sydney, right? You,
Yeah.
Diego, Ilia. Did you know then, or was it still not clear at that point?
Yeah, we sort of knew it was Lopez at that point. We hadn't had a contract, but we knew Ilia wasn't going to be the one. We assumed it was going to be Lopez, and yeah,
Because
yeah.
I don't think Lopez knew yet, man. He was still in the dark, from what I understand. Did he know?
I think he must have known too, because look, it was either him or Mosvart, and Diego's got a lot of hype behind him, and he's a pretty exciting fighter. So we knew it was going to be him.
You know what's interesting, man? Diego, super nice guy. He's actually quite tall, pretty big for the division. Did you guys have a chat at all with him? Did you run into him, interact with him at all backstage? Because you guys were sort of around the same area throughout that fight week.
Yeah, look, I've met Diego a while ago, and I've spoken to him. He's a really nice guy. He doesn't have much English, but he speaks very good Spanish. So I've spoken to him heaps of times. So I sort of am pretty good friendly terms with him. He's a good guy.
Okay, before we talk about this fight with Diego, what's your reaction to Ilia vacating this belt? It's not usually something that we see someone win the title and then move up straight away like this.
Yeah, look, I don't know. That's up to him. That's something he's decided he has to do. I think I actually spoke to him and ran into him a few times during fight week. Again, Ilia, he's what he does in the media and everything else, that's a role he plays. But you meet him out in real life and in person, he's a very respectful and nice person, actually. I got a lot of time for him. Good guy.
Did he tell you guys why he's making this move? Did you guys speak at all about him going up and this fight not happening?
No, I didn't. I spoke to his coaches and everything else, but on all accounts, I think he struggles to make that featherweight division, and I guess he's won that title, and I think he's I think he wants to follow the same path as McGregor, and good luck to him if he makes that much money. I'd do it as well.
You know what's interesting as well? He's got a lot of respect for you guys, right? Like after the Colby Thickness fight, he had nothing but respect for you and the team, Colby.
Yeah.
It seems like he's very, very respectful of everything that you guys have accomplished.
Oh, 100%. Like I said, from day one, he's always been a gentleman towards us. He plays a part, but towards us, he's always been super cool, super respectful. I mean, he always tells me every time he meets me, he's got so much respect for me. God, you've got to reciprocate that. When someone gives you respect, you've got to give it back,
You and Volk, man, you guys took Islam to town in Perth in that first fight. So you know Islam better than most coaches. How do you think Ilia would go against Islam if that does happen to be the next fight for
him? It's a hard one, because Ilia's got that knockout power. So, he lands one on anybody and, it's good night, and he's got pretty good wrestling, he's hard to take down. So it'd be an interesting matchup, especially coming up in weight. He's going to be a lot stronger because he's a pretty strong dude. So, yeah, it'd be an interesting matchup.
It's interesting as well, man, because now we have Diego Lopez, right? And you mentioned you've spoken to Diego before. Are you impressed with the stuff that he's been able to achieve? Obviously, that Brian Ortega fight, he looked very, very good in. He's kind of one of those guys that just kind of comes at you, right?
Yeah,
doesn't hold back.
In a way, he's similar to Ilia. He moves very well. He plants his feet and he throws his hands. He's powerful. I don't think he's as technically I think Ellie's a more technical boxer. Diego seems to, just he's a bit more instinctual. He just throws his hands and hopes he lands. I think Ilia's a lot more technical, a little bit more accurate, I think, when he throws.
Mm-hmm.
But Diego's got pretty sick jiu-jitsu as well, and so he is trouble on the feet and on the ground.
What do you reckon is the most dangerous thing about him?
Well, look, on the ground, he's very similar to Brian. He's very instinctual, so he just throws things naturally, and naturally, he knows where he wants to be and where he doesn't want to be, and that's what makes him dangerous because he's a bit unpredictable. Like he just jumps on things. In that Mozart fight, he's the transitions from the armbar to triangle and back, very technical stuff.
Look, tell me about this camp, because you guys have had quite a camp already. You're over there in Bangtao right now, which is a fantastic facility. You got Craig Jones over there helping you guys out. How's this camp looking? How's Volk looking in this one?
Really, really good. We're sort of lucky. We've had so many, I guess, UFC guys here. We've got Aljo, we've got Dennis. I can't pronounce his surname. The Albanian guy that's Aljo's training partner. He's over here. We've got Jeremy Kennedy, which we fought in our fourth fight. He's here training with us as well. Brad Riddell. The Hickman brothers. So we've got and over here at Bangtown now they've got a heap of young guns. that are going to be the next level guys. Got a few guys here from Ireland, and so we've had like some really, really good training partners and some really good training.
You mentioned the jiu-jitsu. Not bad having Craig Jones there, right? To work out with for Volko going in here. What's it like those guys being able to work together leading into this fight?
Oh, well, he's one of the best. So if you got someone like, his pedigree in our corner, you can only improve and get better. He breaks things down to the millimeter, and then we work from there. So it's invaluable.
Well, by the way, will Jones be in the Will Jones be in the corner with you guys in Miami?
Yet to decide.
Just depends how big the nights are in Thailand, right? I imagine some of the post training sessions for you and Craig.
Craig's been on the straight and narrow. He hasn't been out on. He hasn't had a drink. He hasn't gone out. He's been good. So he's got some big things happening for his CJI. So I think he's super focused on that, and I hope he stays that way. And we'll see what happens there.
Well, yep, I believe you. Okay, so just back to this whole Ilia Topuria situation. I guess that it's interesting because if Ilia does move up and become the lightweight champion, the silver lining here is you guys have always wanted to go up to 155 and get the belt there. So is it kind of in a weird way if he goes up and becomes a champion up there, does that kind of make that rematch sweeter down the line for you guys if Volk does pick up this featherweight belt and then they meet down the line with both guys being champions in their divisions?
100%. It'll be a fight of ages, and I know Volk wants to get that back, I know he wants it. He was pretty disappointed that Ilia pulled out, because Volk's a very very proud, and he wants it back. He just wants it back.
Well, it's important for him to have a crack at it, right? 100% with a good camp, just to show. Is it from that perspective, just to show what he could really do against Ilia?
Again, 100%. Like I've said, maybe we came back too early after the Islam fight, and Volk was a little bit gun shy, But we're not here to make excuses, but we'd really like to get that one back, I
mean, the great thing here is, Volk's had quite a big break. You said he's looking good in this camp. Overall, how's he looking leading into this fight compared to some of the recent ones? Because, he hasn't had the biggest lead up to some of his recent fights.
Well, look, this is the longest he's been without fighting, so he's just chomping at the bit at the moment. And
how do you keep him? How do you keep him chill? Because I imagine that's not easy for him to do.
No, he's always very self-disciplined, so that's not a worry, you know. And he wanted to get the weight down before we came over here, so he didn't struggle. So his weight's down at fight week, you know, not at 66, but at his what I call his optimal weight. He's down to that weight now, and he's just training. You know what he's doing. It's some of the best sparring I've seen him do. You know, he's on point already. You know, and he hasn't peaked yet. You know.
Yeah, so what's the deal with that? So you guys are there for another 2-3 weeks, and then you're going back to freestyle to finish off the camp. Is that
No,
how it
we leave
works?
Saturday. No, we leave Saturday, and we're going to do the rest of the camp back in Australia.
Cool. And just checking, like, do you have people coming through the camp, or what's the plan for the rest of the camp to finish it off when he is peaking?
Yeah, look, one of the reasons we came here was to maybe, bring some guys back from here. So we're having a look at bringing some guys here. We've also, I've been speaking to Ben Vickers, so I think Jack might be coming over as well. I got one of the sponsors who's sponsoring that Kai, I can't pronounce, the Japanese guy who just fought Pantoja.
Oh, yeah. Asakura?
Yes, I didn't want to pronounce his name wrong. One of his sponsors reached out and he said he wants to come and train with us. So I'm just lining that up. So him and a few guys from Japan are really keen to come out and do the camp. And, Brad Riddell's coming out. Craig's going to be there. So Frank Hickman. So, it's looking like a really stacked group of elite athletes coming out to help Volk, finish the 8 weeks of the camp back in the gong.
Shout out to Frank, man. What a legend as well. The Hickman brothers laying it down. Hey, I got to ask, this Aljamain Sterling thing, right? This has been a fight that we thought we might get down the track. What was it like actually seeing both of those boys in the room, being able to mix it up and train together? Because this has been building for a while, right? There was like a little bit of a rivalry there for a bit.
Oh, not really. We've sort of been friends with Aljo for a long time, Ray Longo's a legend, and I really get along good with Ray, his coach. So, and those Long Island guys are really super cool. They're like Australians, they love a bit of banter. You have a good laugh with them, and they don't take things too serious, So whether we fight him or not, we're still going to be friends. There's no, there's nothing in it, I really like Aljo. He's a cool guy.
Well, the sparring session's interesting for you to see. It must be good to have a talent like Aljo in there getting Volko ready for this one, right?
100%, I don't like to say too much, got to respect out of everyone, but, it's been good, and to have those high-level guys there and, Alex, not at his peak or not even looking like at his peak going in there, although Aljo's not at his peak. Aljo's over here doing that ultimate Russian fighter house thing. Yeah, that's been crazy too. Oh, mate.
Well, give me some stories of that. I'm always watching videos. Did you get to witness some of this Russian tough stuff?
Oh, man, I went and watched 4 fights last night. I mean, I was just at the house then, and I thought it was going to erupt out in the backyard while I was there. And all the boys were, I heard some screaming, and I was in the lounge room with a few of the Russian boys, and then they all got, it's going to happen. But there were a couple of boys just joking around, But it kicks off, man, and they go at it. I mean, they're very unhinged, a lot of blokes in that house, I'll tell you.
Team Lopez for the next season of Russian Tough. I'm calling it. I'm making it happen.
They want Alex to come on as a coach for next season. We don't know whether we will, but they love Alex. Alex has been doing a bit of presentation, calling out the fights for him, and they love Alex. So I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, I love how Russian Tough is kind of overtaking Real Tough now. Like this is, everyone's like, what is happening at Russian Tough? This thing is crazy. Hey, just quickly before I got a couple of fan questions for you before we wrap. But before we go to that, sure. Patrício Pitbull coming to the UFC, fighting Yair Rodriguez. What's your reaction to him joining Volko's division? Do you think he can beat Rodriguez and make it all the way to a title shot against Volk if he does pick up this belt against Lopez?
Oh, mate, it'd be unreal if he did. Just somebody that we haven't had, and he's always had a big mouth and called. I mean, that's what the guys do to be noticed, I guess. But it's good always to have somebody new and somebody that nobody's seen in the UFC, but has got a good name, and he's been a champion for a long time. I can see nothing but good things for the sport and the division.
All right, guys, it's time for a new year and a new you, thanks to our friends at Manscaped. Have you sorted all the best products to get you looking good downstairs and all over your body in 2025? Performance Package 5.0 Ultra by Manscaped is your secret weapon for stepping into 2025 sharp, clean, and confident. Don't be the guy that rolls into January looking like you just emerged from hibernation. Let the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, the Weed Whacker 2.0 handle your overgrowth so you can focus on leveling up. Start 2025 with precision, because the only thing that should be growing this year is your success and not your scruff. Join the 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. Use the code word submission now. Keep this show going. Get 20% off and free shipping today. Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is the all-in-one grooming kit. Of course, I mentioned it before, but I'll say it again. Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is the best tool you could have. It also comes with the Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer. Full aftercare, which helps you treat yourself right with the crop soother, and the crop preserver keeps you fresh and comfortable and confident, so you're always ready to move forward. And you get some free gift. Kick off the year with a bonus that elevates your routine. The Boxers 2.0, which I love to wear. They're one of the most comfortable boxers you can wear. And the Shed 2.0 toiletry bag, which I take with me everywhere I go. Manscaped has a 30-day money-back guarantee as well, so you can try it risk-free right now. Use the code word submission. Go right now, 20% off and free shipping. And I just want to talk to you guys about SAILY as well. SAILY is an unbelievable app that's going to change the game forever when it comes to travel, and you want to be covered with your phone. Forget lining up at airports and having to get a new SIM, taking your SIM out, keeping it in a little baggie, making sure you don't lose it. Forget all of that. SAILY has you sorted. All you got to do is download the app, choose the amount that you want to spend, what country you want to go to, and boom, like that, you are sorted. I just went to New Zealand. I was absolutely covered. I didn't want to spend the $10 or $20 or $30 a day that I was going to have to spend because of my provider. I put in an amount. It had me covered the entire time, and I even still have data left over because it was so smooth and easy. One of the things I love about SAILY as well that you may not realize is it actually comes with an ad blocker. So if you are watching videos or doing stuff on the internet, why waste your data on ads? The ad blocker has you sorted, and it comes with web protection as well. Malware on your device is the last thing you need on your travels, and SAILY gets you sorted and protected too. So why not jump on right now, use the code word submission, get 15% off. All you gotta do is download the app, choose your destination, where you wanna go, the amount of money you wanna spend, activate it on your phone without having to take out your SIM card, without having to line up at airports, without having to re-sign different documents. SAILY has you sorted, whether you need a little bit of data or a lot of data, whatever your plan is, SAILY has you covered wherever you go in the world. Go on right now, check out the app. It's the most seamless and easiest process when it comes to travel eSIMs that you can experience. Use the code word submission, 15% off. Jump on right now. What are you waiting for? Grab your SAILY today. If you're traveling tomorrow, next month, get it sorted today. Use the code word submission while it's still active. It's 15% off. SAILY.com/submission gets you sorted. Try it today, whether it's a lot of data, small amount of data. SAILY has you sorted. Easy, seamless, highly recommended. Now back to the program. And just quickly, JDM getting this title shot against Belal. What was your reaction when you saw fellow Aussie getting another crack just, at the following event, UFC 350? Man, not bad for Aussie MMA, right?
No, great for Aussie MMA and great for Jack. He's a top guy, man. I got nothing but respect for Jack and his coach. I messaged him straight away, congratulated him. He goes, "How did you know about it?" I said, "Mate, Dana just went live, and Ben and myself have been in communication for, because we thought it was going to be Leon, so we were already in communication about them coming over and doing part of their camp with us. So, well, we're looking forward to having the boys over and doing some training with them because, Jack's, he's another guy that's just naturally gifted, in his striking, in his grappling and wrestling, So, and I just, it's good to see another fellow Aussie up there, going for a belt,
I love him. He hates doing interviews, but he's all about the fighting. He's kind of like an Aussie Nick Diaz, right? I got to ask just quickly, Belal, he's a hard task, right? He's a very tough fighter to beat. Not many people have been able to do it. What do you think is the path for Jack to be able to get around someone like a Belal, who's very, very tricky and a big veteran in the game?
Yeah, like I said, Jack's just got natural instincts, he's tough. He moves well, and like I said, if he gets him on the ground, Jack's a handful on the ground. You know, he just knows where to put his body and get himself out of danger. What he did, you know, like say with Gilbert Burns, who's an elite jiu-jitsu, and he just gets out of it and then wins the fight from it. He's going to be a handful for anybody in that division.
All right, a couple of fan questions here. First one, how much has the training changed from thinking about fighting Ilia to Lopez? I guess we kind of just spoke about this just before, but how much do you change in this preparation now that you got Lopez?
Look, they're very similar. Obviously, Lopez is a little bit taller, so we're probably going to look for some taller training partners. But I think Ilia's probably a little bit more dangerous with his hands, only because he's a lot more technical and accurate. Lopez sort of seems to just when he gets in the pocket, he throws, but he's got power, so he's dangerous. But I think Ilia's technically a bit more defensively sound than Lopez. So in that sense, I think, no disrespect to Lopez, but I think, he's not going to be that. He's going to be dangerous, but not as dangerous as Ilia in that pocket, Yeah,
he's got that youth craziness. He just runs at you with everything, and he's got that young power. Final question here: what's your funniest Volk story? Do we have any funny Volk stories from your time in Thailand? What has Volk been up to? I know he can be a bit of a character behind the scenes.
Volk stories while being away. He likes to take credit for everybody's goodness, usually mine. So if I do anything good, he'll take credit for it,
What do you mean? What kind of stuff is this?
Oh, whatever, Look, half the funny stories I can't say because kids might be watching this.
Of course. I have a big audience in the 10 to 15-year-old age range, so I understand, Joe. Guys, let's congratulate Freestyle MMA UFC 314. Man, I can't wait. Miami, it's locked in. Joe Lopez, best of luck.
Card.
Dude, it's a crazy card, right?
Oh, mate, looking down the line of it today, I went, wow, this is a great card. So I'm very happy to be part of it,
And then post-fight drinks in Miami. That's not bad either. Joe Lopez.
Yeah,
freestyle MMA. Best of luck with your camp, man. I really appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much for joining me on Submission Radio.
Okay, thanks for having me on. Cheers.